Yes, friends. So let's start now. Now, the most important, the third basic element which we are discussing right now under MIS, that actually talks about the how the IT can become a very key resource when it's come to MIS. Okay, as you know that the computer-based tool are people are always using it in order to disseminate some information, to support the information and process the information. Okay, as we know that like we talk about cell phone, mobile phone we are talking right now, how the mobile phone can be used basically for the multiple purpose in order to get a connection from the networks, and basically we can connect to any business profile if you want to get any stock updates, if we you could say want to connect with anyone irrespective of the geographical boundary or geographical situation they belongs to. Okay, somehow when we're discussing about these key technologies categories, the simple part is that there are certain hardware and certain software which are required when it's come to accessing any particular technology. Okay, now these software and hardware, as we know that hardware is nothing but physical devices and software nothing but basically set of instruction that your hardware execute to carry out a particular specific task. Okay, now as we know that there are certain input devices as everyone knows about, I think so, which includes your mouse, your barcode reader, touch screen, game controller, all these parts. When it comes to output devices, it includes your monitor, printer, speakers. We come to storage devices, we have DVD, flash memories, we have hard disk, even now we have the cloud available, so that will come under storage devices. We have CPU and RAM. CPU, I think in the last month itself we covered up this point that it is the brain of the computer, and with the help of CPU we can interpret it, we can execute the information, and all the application software are basically managed and controlled with the help of CPU only. The most important part of CPU is basically your RAM, which stands for random access memory. The random access memory is basically nothing but a temporary holding memory which actually store information as meanwhile you're working with the system and the application software instruction that CPU currently needs. So RAM is basically more about dynamic memory. It is basically considered as one of the most important and volatile memory available in the system. The next part which comes under that is called your telecommunication devices. Okay, telecommunication devices basically, as we know that whenever we want to send information and receiving information from another person or from different computer network, if you want to connect yourself, you need a modem, and modem is basically one of the most important telecommunication device to communicate with your close ones or with your colleagues or with your organizational structures as well. The last part, we have the connecting devices. Now, connecting devices basically such as when we don't know about the USB port, and with the USB port, we can connect your printer, you can connect your mouse, you can connect your keyboards. So basically, the connecting devices are usually consist of the ports and the cards which we always use in the system. This is all about basically the hardware part which we have. Now, when it's come to softwares, as we know that there are basically different type of softwares, and in the last month we have covered up the basic fundamentals of computers, and in this definitely we have basically two types of software, which is called application software and system software. Application software basically are those software which actually enables you to solve specific problem and to perform certain tasks, certain specific tasks. For example, if I'm using right now PowerPoint, okay, I'm using this PowerPoint just to show you all the PPTs and the content which I want to use for my teaching purposes. Okay, let us suppose if you are using a MS Word, any assignment I'm given it to you to writing the assignment, writing your term papers, each and everything will be done with the application software. These application software basically may terms as a collaborative software, inventory management software, payroll software, any we can say industry specific software, okay, like for a Finacle in the banking industry. So any particular requirement, and as per the processing or as per the structure of the company requires certain sort of application software. Okay, and these application software basically makes the life of the people of the organization easy and systematic. Second is called your system software. System software basically consists of your operating system. Like for example, if I'm using right now MacBook, I'm using Mac OS. You might be using your Lenovo, HP, Dell. You might be using the Windows softwares. Okay, so it actually talks about all those important, you could say, system software, which actually works on the technology management, and it coordinates the all interaction of the technological devices. So system software basically includes your network operating system software, drivers for your printers, scanners. We can include about OS for your software such as Windows XP, Mac OS, utility software, which includes your antivirus, installer, file security. This each and every component will come under your system softwares. Okay. So this is basically the important structure about IT in terms of hardware and the softwares. Clear, guys? It's very simple. Let me unmute everyone, I think. If you have any query, we can discuss, please. Yes, it's clear, I think. Everyone, kindly confirm.
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
Next one, we have the Porter's 5 forces model. Basically, the Porter 5 forces model I have already covered up in my previous sessions. But when we discuss about the Porter 5 forces model in terms of MIS, it's having some different perspective to cover up. Okay. Now, when I'm just talking about the Porter 5 forces model, first of all, as we know that whenever we discuss about the business surroundings, and business surrounding is basically more associated with the problems and the technology which they need to use. Okay. As you know, that technology upgradation and use of technology somehow is the need of the hour. Okay. And if we need to take any strategic decision in the company about determining the how technology will support your effort, how technology will make your business more lucrative, make your business more conducive, make your business more constructive, which if I could say, then we need to keep in mind that the business need to take certain decisions when it's come to technology, when it's come to database, when it's come to you could say assessing the various factors. And as you know that, like whenever the company is taking any decision, these decisions must be backed up by certain analysis. And these analysis basically talks about some data collection and data interpretation and its conclusion as well. Okay, so the Porter 5 forces model basically talks about whenever the company need to take any decision, they always need to keep in mind how technology will support them in order to take any decision based on the information collected from the market or collected from the research sources. Okay, let me show you one diagram first of all. There's a very, very basic diagram about Porter's 5 forces model and how the various information, informations are basically used. Okay, so now the first more thing, as we know that, like when we actually talk about this Porter 5 forces model, okay, how this process actually comes up, or what decision making which actually talks about under Porter 5 forces model. The first important thing that is about whenever you need to assess your competition and whenever you need to assess your industry pressure when it's come to entry of any new company, definitely company need to do some research first of all. For example, I'll take a very basic example in the market right now, that since the Maruti inception in the Indian market, Maruti, Mahindra, Tata, after that, there's an entry of the foreign players or foreign, you could say, companies into Indian market. This entry of foreign players into Indian market definitely creating the state of competition and some industry pressure as well to survive in the long run. For analysis about how the company should survive, how the company will actually put forward their policies or strategies, definitely company need to assess some information. So how this information may be assessed first of all, or what are the basic sources behind that? Anyone?
So can you please repeat the question once again?
Question is, whenever you need to assess the competition and industry pressure, how it will affect your organization?
How it will affect the organization?
Yes. When it comes to your strategies, decision making, your product offering, I'll give an example first of all to you. As you know that like when we talk about any company and a particular organization is somehow running very successfully because you are the only player or very few players available in the market to offer that particular product in the to the customer. But suddenly what happened now, the competition increased and there are some other players are available in the market to compete with them. Like it happens with Airtel actually. Okay. The Airtel was the Airtel, Vodafone, Idea, Docomo, we know that. The entry of Jio become a threat for all these competitors. Okay. And Airtel and other companies, they need to assess the situation about the level of competition which the Jio can provide and what industry pressure they are feeling nowadays because of the entry of Jio in the market. Are you getting my point? The example is clear.
Yes, maybe they will cut down the cost to meet the competition.
Okay. Anything else, guys? About this very first point, about assessing the state of competition. That is about threat of new entrants.
So increase the supply.
Increase the supply, okay. Because when I'm just talking about threat of new entrants, definitely we are talking about the barriers and the pressure that the existing company feel in the market. Okay. And as we know that whenever the new competitor enters the market, it will actually create some sort of tension in the mind of the existing company if they are superior to you. Okay. Like recently we can see the example of Hyundai facing the competition from Kia Motors, Nissan. Okay. So somehow, as we know that whenever the any particular companies, you could say, taking an entry into the market, the threat of new entrants is one of the key major, you could say, highlight for that particular market. Now, in order to analyze those parts, definitely you need to keep in mind that how you will overcome those challenges into opportunities. That is called threat of new entrants and assessment of the same. Any other example, guys, for threat of new entrants?
Check the quality of services.
Yes.
And compare the quality of services.
Okay. I think your voice is not clear. Vikas, I think your voice is not clear.
I say rate down. Sir, I say.
Yes, Vikas, go ahead. Vikas, your voice is not clear actually. Just try to understand, guys, because what's my point over here, that whenever you want to survive in the market and you have a threat of new entrants, you always need to be first mover in the company or first mover in the market. I would say that first mover advantage basically will give you some additive cushion so that you would be definitely superior in comparison with the other company. For example, if I take the example of Apple, okay, Apple in comparison with the, we can say Samsung and OnePlus, okay, how the Apple is basically having the first mover advantage when it's come to technological upgradation or features upgradation in comparison with Samsung and other brands. Okay, these are a few examples we are talking right now. The most important thing is that how you are actually creating your USP in the market in such regards. Understood, guys? The first point, threat of new entrants. Any other example from your end? Guys, clear? Students, please, clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Second important point is bargaining power of buyers. Okay. So when I'm just talking about the bargaining power of buyer, as we know that if we have the multiple choices available to purchase from the market, what to buy, what not to buy, from whom to buy, which company will giving us the at the lowest price possible. Okay, so analysis of the buyer and how the buyer can actually bargain from the company or negotiate from the company. So from the perspective of the competitive advantage, the customer will feel attractive toward those company, those who are giving them some option to negotiate, giving them option to we can say bargain when it's come to purchasing any product, because as we know that there are already, you could say, close competitors available in the market. Okay, and in order to, you could say, if the customer is not satisfied with services, definitely he will shift to any other brand very easily. That is called the bargaining power of buyer. Like for example, if I'm talking about Dell having competition with Lenovo and HP, if the customer is basically not satisfied with the Dell services, very quickly he will shift to the other brands like HP and Lenovo and other brands. Basically, we can say that. Okay, so the bargaining power is nothing but all those companies, when you have the cutthroat competition with your competitor, the bargaining power of buyer will always play a very crucial role in the market. And analysis of the same, decision making for the same, is definitely one of the most crucial factor to collect the information from the market about the characteristics of the buyer. An example, guys? Because somehow bargaining power is suitable for all those firms, those who are having some upper edge or competitive advantage in comparison with our competitors. We can take the example of Netflix, Amazon, Coke, Pepsi. What else? Ajay?
It's a GEM government portal.
Yes. Clear, guys? Second point, bargaining power of buyers. Student, please kindly confirm. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next one, we have threat of substitute product or services. Now, as I think we discussed the previous part only, the threat of substitute is definitely, we'll talk about a switching cost. And switching cost, nothing but, for example, if I'm using, let us suppose Amazon for my online purchases, now I'm switching to Flipkart to purchase all my online, you could say, products and services. Previously, I was purchasing from Apollo Pharmacy, and now I'm moving to 1mg. These are basically threat of substitute which creates. And threat of substitute basically more concerned about the switching cost from one particular offering to other particular offering. Okay, so in this regard, we need to keep in mind that all those particular organizations, whenever we have the alternative option available to move or to switch to other brands, which are the close substitute of your product, definitely that sort of examples or that sort of, you could say, analysis which you need to do in order to retain your customer with the company itself. Like it happens like with Jio and Airtel. People are switching from Jio to Airtel or Airtel to Jio when it's come to the cutthroat competition between these two organizations. Clear? Yes, definitely we can consider. And the last part we have is about the bargaining power of suppliers now. Okay. Now, bargaining power of suppliers. What exactly the meaning of that? Supplier in context of?
Who is the service provider?
Yes.
There's a tiny difference between the power of buyer and power of supplier.
Yes.
Sir, we can, sir, it also coming in that means there was one table which I learned that was wholesaler, manufacturer, the line means the first one was a wholesaler and second one was the manufacturer, wholesaler, retail and customer.
Yes. Very good.
That also means bargain suppliers means
Because see, supplier power is more opposite to we could say buyer's power. Okay. In this regards, definitely we can talk about from whom to buy and who will provide us the material or the initial you could say ingredients for our organization. And as we know that supplier organization in the industry, and you always actually search for the best deal or best negotiation if it is possible.
yeah.
Sir, it is like a simple concept that when the bargaining power of supplier is like a monopoly.
Definitely.
And bargaining power of the buyer is I have options.
Yeah, definitely you can say it depends on the number of firms available in the market. According to the definitely this sort of option may be used or may actually it's a reality we can say. If you are the like we talk about OPEC countries, they definitely have a supplier power, higher supplier power. Okay, because they are the only one who are supplying the crude oil to different part of the world. Clear? Yes, Monica. Correct. Yes. That's absolutely correct. Now, the next part we have that is about the last, that is rivalry among the existing competitors. Okay, that is very simple about. Now, rivalry, I think, as we know that on daily basis in the terms of advertisements. Okay, even like we talk about the IPL is going on. So there is an intense competition between Paytm, that online play, MPL, and other you could say that online betting app where you can actually design your own team and you can win the money. Okay, so that is about the rivalry among the existing competitors. What else? I think there's a fifth point, which is center one. We talk about with the Big Bazaar with DMart, very intense rivalry we can say. Pizza Hut with Domino's. Yes, what else? Students, please. Any other example for rivalry among existing competitors? Jio, Airtel, Apple, Samsung,
Adidas and Nike,
HP and Dell. Okay, yes, Monica, definitely we can consider. Adidas and Nike, definitely yes. Guys, understood these 5 points, I think, when it's come to Porter 5 forces model for informational analysis. Okay, because when the company need to take any decision out of this 5 major part, the company must need to actually talks about all the information through which they can actually assess the situation in the market. Amazon, Flipkart, yes, Ayushi, very correct. Clear, guys? I think this point.
Clear, sir.
Sure. So guys, I will leave the class early today because I have a doctor appointment today. So I'm leaving the class 10 minutes before today. And tomorrow, I think then I'll start with the next topic about the differentiation strategy. Okay. It is the generic strategy as per Porter's. Okay. That I'll start in the next session. Will it be okay? I think so.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much for your support. And tomorrow, I think we'll see you at 8 o'clock for the OB class first.
See you tomorrow, sir. Take care.
Yeah. Recorded sessions